Kyle was anxious about doing this interview, so he asked me, his therapist, to do it instead. The best way to describe Kyle is that he's someone who learned all his social skills from books, written by people who learned all their social skills from books. Kyle's been performing magic since the age of 10. Kyle does magic because he has a latent and persistent compulsion to lie. To help Kyle overcome stage fright, we intend to build him up gradually. First, he'll perform for inanimate objects, then fish, then parrots, then flamingos, and then finally asbestos. I think that Kyle will be able to perform for Penn and Teller. The therapy has never failed, and I have no doubt that he will flourish. Well, thank you for the interview, and I wish him the best tomorrow. Good night. Who was that?
As his bio states, our next act emerged from his mother 23 years ago covered in amniotic fluid. Well, I can't think of a more beautiful introduction myself, so please welcome the young and recently showered Kyle Eschen.
So obviously, I'm a magician. I think that's the third best thing about me. The second being my hygiene. The first being the fact that I'm not an arsonist. I got my start at children's birthday parties. I'd say clever things like, "Hey kids, which hand holds the shrimp?" Wrong, you're all flawed human beings. They all loved me, though not everyone has been so enamored with my act. For instance, and this is a true story, after one show, a woman walked up to me and said, "You're rather socially awkward on stage. Do you have Asperger's?" And I thought that was a strange question to ask, because that's usually my pickup line. Now that the persona has been established, we can proceed with a rather disappointing miracle. That requires the assistance of a member of the audience. If you, sir, would mind joining me on stage, let's have a round of applause for him as he makes his way out. Thank you very much for coming up here. If you wouldn't mind just standing here. No one likes to be summoned from the crowd to assist a magician, so I do appreciate it. This trick requires a very special prop, which I keep in a very special place. My pocket. Now, I know you were expecting me to pull something out of your ear, but in fact, I did the opposite. I put something in. You'll discover in about a week's time when it hatches. Magicians are terrible at dating, so we need some mechanism by which to pass on our genes. Who knew that magicians reproduced in the same manner as the African botfly? The real secrets of magic revealed. We have here a rather unusual deck of cards, blank but for a list of my favorite things. I'll rattle some of them off. We have here waffles, beans, liver, lint, wood chips, doorknobs, bleach, pollen, the usual suspects. The important point is that they're all distinct. There are no duplicates among them. I actually have a compelling theatrical motivation for having these, but I'm going to skip that because nobody cares. We require one of these cards to be picked, one item to be picked. So as I run my thumb down the side of the deck, please just say stop anytime.
Stop.
Here?
Yep.
Please hold out your palm up. I will deal you that card. And please cup your other hand beneath as if holding water or perhaps bile. My favorite emulsifier, though I don't think I'm alone in that. Notice, by the way, I say water. He cups his hand one way, or bile. There's a slight shift in posture. Say what you will about this guy, but this is a man who understands fluid dynamics. And that is the most important quality a human being can have. So I just want you to know that. We have here a silk handkerchief, the last remaining prop, and I will Non-verbally display the fact that it is empty by flinging it several times toward the gentleman. Now that I've established dominance, I will reveal the name of the item selected. And you might not be able to tell this at home, but the mood in this theater is tense. Lentils. You picked lentils. Now, earlier I warned that this was going to be a disappointing trick, but even I cannot anticipate the extent. Please keep your hands cupped, sir, and rivet your attention to the handkerchiefs. Watch. As cascading forth, we find the birth of lentils. Lentils by the billions, streaming forward. You may keep this as a token of gratitude for coming up here. Thank you very much for your help, so you go back to your seat. My name is Kyle Eschen. Thank you for your attention.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm certainly glad he didn't pick liver. That would have been gross. Hi, so you won't be upset if I don't call you for my daughter's birthday party, right?
I will not.
Okay, good. You seem like a happy guy, huh?
Ecstatic.
Yeah, I could tell. And what actually brought you into magic? Like, when did you decide that's what you wanted to do?
A family friend showed me a card trick, and he would not tell me how it was done. So in retaliation, I spent 13 years learning the craft.
That's commitment. Is this like your character? Or is this who you are?
I toned down the awkwardness for the stage.
Good to know. All right, cool. One last thing before we go to the guys.
Yes.
Do you have any recipes that you can do with the lentils?
I eat lentils dry, although they're good seasoned with a little bit of saline.
Gentlemen?
We love you.
Thank you.
And we are going to be seeing you everywhere for the rest of our lives. You're going to be a force to be reckoned with. There's no doubt about that. I really don't want to talk at all about the magic, although I love the fact, and this will serve you very well for the rest of your life, that you are able to stand with your hands as though you were palming something, even when you're not palming something. It's very natural for you. That'll be very, very useful. But I want to say that you did something truly impossible and truly amazing here. The best thing we can say about you is you are doing something that many, many magicians try to do and very few pull off, and that is, whether you fool anybody or not, you are funny. Really funny.
That compliment is better than any trophy, right? I mean...
That is true.
All right.
It's a worthwhile trade-off.
Right, but you know that you probably didn't fool them, but...
Not at all.
That they might become a trio with you. No, maybe?
You're just so funny, so great.
Yes, you are so amazing, so wonderfully amusing, and slightly scary, but we love you. Okay, so thank you, Kyle Eschen.